Hello everyone, I'm Ronald Mehta and welcome back to Digit.com, a platform where we make life simple for management students worldwide. In this video on the subject of retail management, we are going to cover the topic on merchandise management. This video takes a stab at the most important element in the retail store, and that is merchandise. The gamut of merchandise management covers several subtopics which are going to be the future videos after this video. Additionally, this video also takes a stab at how Zara has perfected the art of merchandise management. So let's start with an introduction of merchandise management. Merchandise management is concerned with the planning and control of the retail inventories. It is a process by which a retailer attempts to offer the right quantity of the right merchandise in the right place at the right time, along with meeting the financial goals of the company. Merchandise management is the analysis, planning, acquisition, handling, and control of the merchandise investment of a retail operation. Let's look at each one of them briefly. Analysis. Retailers must be able to correctly identify their customer before they can ascertain customer desires and their needs/requirements to make a good buying decision. Next is planning, which is important because merchandise to be sold in the future must be bought now by the retailer. Then comes acquisition, because the merchandise needs to be procured from others, either distributors or manufacturers. Then comes the handling of the merchandise. Handling involves seeing that the merchandise is where it is needed and in the proper condition to be sold. And finally, control. Control as a function of merchandising involves spending money for acquiring products. It is necessary to control the amount of money spent on buying the merchandise. Moving on to the types of merchandise. First, staple or basic merchandise. Staple merchandise are those products which are always in demand. They may also be the basic necessities of life like sugar, salt, pulses, groceries, etc. Depending on the types of the retail model, the retailer has to determine the staple products for the store. In many cases, these products may be also termed as classics. Next, fashion merchandise. Merchandise which has high demand for a relatively short period of time is referred to as fashion merchandise. Excess buying may result in heavy obsolete stock at the end of the season or when the product goes out of style. Examples of such products include various cuts in jeans, joggers, palazzo pants which may be in style for a season. Next, seasonal merchandise. As the name goes, it includes products that sell well during a particular season. Examples of such products include rainwear like umbrellas and raincoats, winterwear, thermal clothing, etc. And finally comes fad merchandise. Fads, in contrast to fashion, enjoy popularity for a limited period of time and usually generate a high level of sales for a short time. Examples include belts or suspenders, trench coat, collar pins, bell bottoms, etc. Moving on to key topics under merchandise management. First, the word assortment. These entail selection of a merchandise carried by a retailer. It includes both the breadth of a product categories and the variety within each category. Then comes the variety of merchandise, that is the product lines. The variety of merchandise mix refers to the number of different lines that the retailer stock in the store. For example, a departmental store may provide a collection in menswear, women's wear, and children's wear. This would then be termed as variety offered by the store. Next, width and breadth of assortment. Width of merchandise may also be referred to as a breadth of merchandise. It refers to a number of merchandise brands in the merchandise line. For example, a retailer stocking various brands of men's shirts, etc. Next, depth of assortment. The variety in any one good service category, that is product line, with which retailer is involved. For example, if a retailer decides to stock 10 designs of shirts in 5 sizes and colors, then it would be the depth of the assortment. Moving on to the principles of merchandising. First, understanding the target market. The retailer exists for the customer, thus product retailed in the store should be a reflection of the consumer needs and wants. Next, build the merchandise plan one store at a time. The customers visiting each store are different, hence they have to be understood as separate entities. While the merchandise plan is built for the company as a whole, there has to be an element where the peculiarities of each store and region are taken into account. Next, buy what your customers want, not what you want. The buyer, as in the retailer in this case, is the representative of the consumer, and it is necessary to remember that the choice and taste of the target consumer may be very different from that of the buyer. The buyer, as in the retailer, needs to offer what the consumers will want rather than what he or she may like. Moving on to the next principle, build the right assortment. In case of most of the products which are bought or consumed, the consumer is always looking for choice. A wide assortment of the right kind of goods goes a long way in building customer loyalty towards the brand or the store, as the case may be. Then, be consistent. When building a range of products for the customer, it is necessary to ensure that there is consistency across all product offerings. Consistency is required not only in the choice of products offered, but also in quantity. Then, offer value. The consumer's decision to buy a product is not always governed by price alone. Nowadays, the consumer is seeking value in the purchase that he or she makes. Low price may not always be a factor favoring sales, and the perception of the value that the product provides will eventually influence the consumer's decision. Next, understand the needs of the vendor. It is necessary for the buyer to understand the strength and weakness of each vendor and also what motivates the vendors. Next, share information. Sharing of information with the vendors often goes a long way in creating a sense of responsibility and involvement among them. Crucial information is what is shared on a timely basis may affect the long-term success or failure of a product or a range of products. And finally, seek to surprise the consumer. The merchandise is what draws the customer to the retail store. If the merchandise in the retail store excites the customer and exceeds his or her expectation, time and again, the customer will have reasons to keep coming back. Finally, let's look at some examples of merchandise management. In this case, Zara. Zara's local production in most styles. Instead of sending production to Asia, Zara manufactures more than 50% of its merchandise in Spain as well as in nearby countries such as Portugal, Morocco and Turkey. This makes it easier for Zara to quickly send merchandise to its stores. Local production gives Zara a leg up on other clothing retailers that source production overseas. Rather than producing more quantities per style, Zara produces more styles, which is roughly 12,000 a year. Even if a style sells out very quickly, there are new styles waiting to take up the space. This practice pushes consumers to keep visiting the brand stores, because if they were just a week late, all the clothes of a particular style or trend would be gone and replaced with a new trend. So that's it, folks. This brings an end to the topic on merchandise management. These are the list of sources and links referred to for the content in the video. Thank you.